Good morning, pregame crew. How are y'all doing? It is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022, 8:22 a.m. Eastern, 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm Chark Lori. You are at the pregame show where my goal is to get you ready for the trading day. So I log on a little early, give time for people to chit chat and come into the room. And in 8 minutes, when you see the clock down here around 6:30, I will get started on the indices. I'll do the Fab 4 indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day, and then we will just have a slightly good time, but hopefully more informative than silly. Audio visual check, please. Thank you, Chuck. Good morning, me, myself, and I. Lisa, Veronica, Mary, Topher, Matthew, Roger, Robert, Night Truck, Greg. How are ya? I've been praying to 7-pound, 7-ounce baby Jesus that today's technology goes smoothly. Let's see how it goes. YouTube was not my friend yesterday. It's going to be my friend today. So, as always, I will do a couple of chart requests before we officially get started with indices. And if you're short on time, I promise to be efficient. At 6:30, I'll get started on those indices as promised. And I should rip through about 25 charts in 25 minutes. TQQ. Thank you, Roger. Hey, Mira Asia. Good morning, Jerome and Mustang Keggers. Mansoor Camo. Good morning. So when I go over Nasdaq, that is going over TQQ. Just so you know, I typically do not chart any type of leveraged ETF because it has decay. I will look at a leveraged ETF like UVIXI. I will look at it on a very short time frame, only to get certain levels, just really short time frame. When I go to longer time frames, I'm going to look at VIX. Same thing with TQQ. If I'm trying to trade QQQ long, I'll look at short-term time frames for TQQ just to kind of get my stop loss if I want to pre-program it in Thinkorswim. Otherwise, I'm just looking at QQQ. So I'm going to look at QQQ now. And what we have to do is get over the high of pre-market 20265, which of course it's more important at 30265. The Nasdaq level is more important of getting over this 41875. 1241875. That's the key level to get over on the Nasdaq. On QQQ, we want to hold. I'm going to disregard this wick here, 29964. That's our new support, and then down at 297 and 29572. The low of yesterday is key going forward. The bulls are giving themselves enough room for hourly higher lows, which is really good. Now, are we going to get a 5-minute, 15-minute? We could be getting a 30-minute lower high here on Nasdaq. So Nasdaq bulls, please be careful. If we break over 41875, that would be an hourly trend change. Good morning. Hey, Maddie. Hey, Matthew. You want to look at Tilray? Let's do it. So 441 was a support from September 2020. We breached that yesterday by 5 cents. I would say it's close enough to a hold. Doesn't look good, but this is what we want to see happen. We have our new low of 436, 452 high. Higher low of 440. We want to get over 452 and then 461. Let me put a price label on that. Over 461, we're cooking with grease on Tilray. Tilray does have some pre-market volume. That's why I'm using these levels a little more. That's messy. I'm going to delete that before Dan sees that one. 461 is resistance and 440 and 436 are your supports. We need a change of trend. Even over 461 is fun and all, but then we have this level over here, the high of day 466 that we need to clear. So bulls have their work cut out for them, but this is definitely a beaten down name. It's the RSI. Actually, daily's not oversold, weekly's not oversold. This has been some very controlled selling, and it could be a 4-hour bear flag, so caution, caution. All right, coin. 4 more minutes, I'll get started on the indices. Potential 4-hour bear flag as well. So I have MARA on my list today, but I have it as everything that's a potential long. setup, it is with caution, caution. Oh, shoot. Coin has earnings today after hours. Careful. Everybody's getting super punished on earnings. If you just meet expectations and guide down a tiny bit, you're getting beat. If you exceed expectations and guidance remains flat, you're still getting beaten down. Coin's earnings would have to be perfect for today for them to get any type of bounce. So just remember the earnings bar, let's just pretend like this was the 2020 bar down here. You just got to jump over and we reward you. The 2021 bar was up here. You had to just clear that. And then we'll reward you. 2022 bar is up sky high and you must clear the bar. If you touch it with your toe, you're getting hammered. So just remember the bar has been raised for earnings. In 2020, it was, did you kind of beat a little bit? Maybe kind of, sort of. Okay, you're up 10%. So earnings for 2021, you beat, oh good. We'll go up about 3 or 4%. And now earnings season 2022, oh, you beat, but you're not going to guide up 30%. Okay, we're going to smack you down. Case in point, which UPST, they guided down and they're getting pummeled, absolutely pummeled. Look at GDRX, pummeled. Peloton, pummeled. So coin, if I was a coin bull today, I'd be shaking in my boots, but that's just me. I don't trade earnings. Netflix, 2 more minutes. Netflix is oversold on every time frame, but remember, something fundamentally changed about their company. Their subscriber growth was way down. They have so much competition now. Do I think this is going to get a pretty killer bounce? Absolutely. But we'll give no awards for nailing this bottom. None. No Oscars, no trophies, nothing. So 17570 is your resistance and 17933, support 17377 and 17248. I'm going to do one more and then we'll go over, start our show. So I'm going to do Binance if that's okay, Mute Trader. This actually doesn't look terrible compared to some of the other charts I've looked at last night with crypto. I mean, yes, we made lower lows, but we're not even oversold. 4-hour barely crossed oversold and hourly is bouncing. We got an hourly trend change, but I would say it's a little more work for them to get over 215.2. You have support at 2014. And we have CPI numbers tomorrow, by the way. All right, let's get started. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. And what I say that I like to do here is I wake up in the morning and all the puzzle pieces are thrown on the ground. Thanks, Mr. Market, for throwing them on the ground for me to just pick them up and try to put the puzzle together. My goal is to give you a structure, a framework to get started with the day. Of course, when I turn the mic off, new information enters the market, so we have to factor that in. Okay. Absolutely, Matthew, coin could be priced in. Their bad earnings, if their potential bad earnings or semi-good earnings. I'm just saying it's a tough, in the Bible, there's a story about it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter heaven or something like that. Y'all know that. And if you're not a Bible, whatever, parable. It's kind of like that. It is to beat on earnings and to be rewarded for the beat. It's kind of like putting a camel through the eye of a needle. The window is so tiny and so small. And it's just what we've seen over and over and over again. So I'm pessimistic, but it's just for pure protection for those wanting to play earnings to the bull side. Just if you'd have been playing all of the earnings to the bear side, you would be multi-millionaire right now. Okay, so Nasdaq, that's my 5.9 overnight high. I told y'all yesterday I wasn't up to date on all of my alerts. Well, now I am, and that's what all those orange dotted lines are. So Nasdaq, I put my alert just a little bit before resistance, so 418.75 is what we're looking to clear, and I put it about 16 points early, so we're not there yet, but we're approaching it. All right. ES, key support 4035. So you see all of my alerts here, and just seeing those alerts overhead tells you so much about what kind of resistance is overhead. If you were a futures buyer over here and you held through this mess, you are waiting for a bounce to get out. And if you're not a futures trader, I don't know if Judd's here, but if you are a futures trader and you held through this, you wreaked havoc on your account. Futures are very punishing. If you are in a losing position, they really go against you and go against you hard because it's leveraged. So with futures, these people, if these bag holders overhead with all these orange alerts overhead, they're just waiting for it to get to that level so they can unload. So yes, it's wonderful we're getting a bounce going, but look at these oversold situations on ES. This has been some really systematic selling. And if you're new to the pregame show, I typically give you notes. I show you notes. And if you're a TCG member, I share those in the room once the pregame show is over. Never thought I'd be quoting Mike Tyson, but I really thought this was good this morning. You have to train your mind to be stronger than your feelings or else you will lose yourself. I can't think of a more appropriate quote for trading. You have to be in control of your mind. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. If you're trading by your feelings, I will tell you, you are a losing trader. I can guarantee it. You can't trade by feelings. You have to trade with your mind. So you have to suppress the noise that's created internally with, oh my God, we're going to crash. Oh my God, it's time for a bounce. And just use your mind, use the levels, and use technical analysis. If you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation. So overnight, Hang Seng down 1.8%, and the DAX is up 1.39%. So somewhat of a mixed bag out there. And last night, if you were watching futures and seeing Bitcoin bounce, you would see that Nasdaq started bouncing. They started bouncing in tandem. So you could see that super waterfall flush on crypto was yielding a bounce. And I want you to look at this. Bounce. Remember earlier I said Netflix, it's due for a bounce. I'm not saying it's going to get a 57% bounce, but when you have these waterfall, I was watching this in real time, didn't trade it. When you have these waterfall bounces, and this is for a fundamental reason due to tether, so I'm not going to pretend like I know it, but when you have these type of waterfall bounces, you'll hear Dan say time and time again, my aggressiveness in buying the dip will match the bear's aggressiveness. And so you just aggressively buy that dip. Once you see any sign like here at vol climax, you can buy that dip and look at that bounce. You get rewarded. But it's very high risk. It takes a very specific skill. Is this that? Is ES a waterfall like Luna? No. This has been so programmatic, systematic, just steady selling. After COVID, we got a big old flush. Big old flush. They've just flushed the toilet. Cleared out order books, down she goes. This is walking the dog. Y'all know the yo-yo game. Walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog. I.e., cool off RSI, cool off RSI, cool off RSI. And you're just able to march it down. If you're a bear and you have been ahead in this game of shorting this, why the heck would you stop now? Especially when the RSI is not oversold. With Luna, what creates these V-shaped bounces? What creates a 57% bounce? A bear starts looking at that extreme RSI and saying, oh crap, I'm going to cover, I'm going to take all these wins, take the wifey out for dinner, and then when I come back, I'll start re-shorting it. So it's just bears taking profit. This isn't anybody actually saying, I think this is a buy down here for the most part. And that's what, there is a reason for the bears to cover. There's no reason for the bears to cover. So now the new key support is yesterday's low and on ES 3961. And if you are not a futures trader, you don't have to be a futures trader to use these futures accounts for analysis, or excuse me, charts for analysis. So I'm going over futures, but that doesn't mean it doesn't apply to you because you're not a futures trader. It absolutely does apply to you. It is my opinion that these charts are more important than the indexes and the ETFs in which these futures are, they're based off the futures. So your new support on Nasdaq 12293. ES, okay, we got that one. Nasdaq 12102.25 is your key support. Resistance 12418. We need to clear that to confirm this little hourly bull flag, and that would be our first little hourly trend change. That would be so much fun, but you know what? We're still looking for a daily lower high compared to 1355. ES, we're still looking for a daily lower high compared to 43.03. So it's fun. It's awesome that we're bouncing, but it doesn't mean we're going to go straight to a daily higher high. Bears will still be looking to position either on the 4-hour chart or something similar. So you see these alerts going off. Let's look at VIX. VIX is breaking that overnight low. So you see how I have different indicators going off. So Nasdaq went off first, and then that tells me ES is most likely to follow. Okay, we're through that Nasdaq resistance now. Good morning, y'all. Shakti, I think someone got a hold of your keyboard. All right. And my job here is to get you ready for the trading day. And if I have time, I will answer chart requests, but it's definitely not my job to do chart requests the entire time, because I know I want to listen to what Dan is watching. If Dan is a seasoned trader. So if he tells me here's the 8 setups he's watching, that's what I want to hear about. And if Caterpillar was on my list of names I'm watching, that's fine. I'd rather see what he's watching, because I want someone who more experience and a more keen eye to this, what they're looking at. It doesn't mean it'll play out exactly as they think it will, but my goal is just to give you the overall lay of the land. Okay, so on VIX, we're losing this hourly uptrend, which is good for the market. Bitcoin, we got this hourly trend change, which it was kind of weak here. We pulled back a lot. We may get an hourly lower high compared to 32645, and I want you to keep these hourly 50 MAs on your charts. Look at them all day. So look at ES. Where's the hourly 50 MA? Nasdaq, hourly 50 MA. RTY, hourly 50 MA. YM is pushing right up against it. Bitcoin, overhead, hourly 50 MA. Ethereum, fighting with it now. So y'all know I like to call that the Great Wall of Louisiana or Great Wall of China. That hourly 50 MA is typically a struggle bus the first time you tested it. So Ethereum tested it overnight, and now we're testing it again. Ethereum needs to get over 423850, and your support is did I say that? Yes, I said that right. And your support 2364. Bitcoin support 31234. Key resistance 3264549. Gold, what a mess. So gold, we're fighting to hold this daily low. So we have an EQ now. We have lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low. So we're tightening up within this, attempting to hold at 1849. But when you see look at this. We have a weekly, Linda, look, Linda. We have a weekly inside bar, and we're holding last week's low. But we're only $10 away from that low. And y'all, we're only Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we have 3.5 days left in this candle. And we've already tested it within $1. Odds favor we break it. I'm not saying we will, because the dollar isn't very convincing where it is either. But I'm just saying, if you're testing last week's low within a day or two of the market opening on the week, that does not bode well for the name. So with gold, it's been on the struggle bus, needs to get over 1864 and then 1871. That key support 1851 and 1849. Oil has API estimates after hours, 4:30 Eastern. Inventory tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. 104.16. Odds favor an hourly lower high compared to this. This has been a very significant pullback on oil and nat gas. And right now, this looks like a potential 4-hour bear flag. And nat gas is oversold on the 4-hour, and typically that's where we look for a weekly higher low compared to 6345. But man, I just won't step in front of this bear train trying to buy this dip. These bears are going for it on nat gas. They don't call it naughty gas for a reason, without a reason, right? Apple. Okay, Apple's getting over 154.85. Check. Apple, just like Nasdaq, duh, they've made an hourly higher high. So, and I say duh because they're so closely linked, because Apple's the largest holding. Next step, got to get over 155.83. And 150 is that key support, and that's 149.88 dividend adjusted. So I'm still all over this Apple train. Y'all know I watch Apple. So today I'm watching Apple, and I have an Amazon call from yesterday. I took an out of the money call on Amazon looking for that bounce, because we were oversold on many time frames up to the weekly. So in XBI, I'm looking for a bounce in XBI as well. But y'all know I always keep Apple and UVixy up just for correlations because they impact the market so much. So on Apple, I like a dip buy back to 153. So if it were to come back to 153, aggressive bulls could look to buy that dip. Jorge, trend changes do matter if it's happening with volume. And with futures, it's happening with volume, so it does matter. If you're having trend changes happening in aftermarket hours with very low volume, it doesn't matter. Apple has volume, lots of volume in pre-market. Let me see. See if I can find it real quick. Apple has volume of 3.4 million shares. 3.4 million shares. You can see it right there, second line. Okay, 3.4 million times $150. You can do that math. That's significant. So it does matter. So be careful telling yourself these definitive statements. This doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. So many things matter. It all matters, folks. So just be careful with these definitive statements. You have to be able to accept all outcomes and remain mentally agile in trading. If you get fixated on this is that, this is not that, then you're just very legalistic. You're going to get hurt. Speaking of getting hurt, Affirm. Affirm is getting the beat down because it was UPST's running buddy last fall. Up in here, it was running with UPST. UPST was running. So they're not technically connected at all. But Affirm, wrong place, wrong time. You got affiliated with the wrong people. So it's getting the beat down. I would say Affirm would actually be a buy. They have earnings Thursday. So I would say that, sorry, I'm trying to read the chat room and I don't see any mods this morning, so I'm trying to make sure I don't need to clean things up. So on Affirm, I think this is getting beat up unfairly, even though they have earnings Thursday. And I would wait for some type of tightening range over here. And this is ninjas only. So I want you to see my notes so you know ninjas only. Affirm is a train wreck because it got lumped in with UPST earnings. GDRX, Lord, that name is getting punished. Piton, bad earnings, punish. UPST, punish. These names have very high volume in pre-market, extremely high volume. They are a name in play today. They're going to get some decent volatility in both directions. I can't tell you which direction. I mean, if the trend is down, the trend is down. Affirm is the only one out of those three that I'd be looking to position myself long only. Top fish possibly of 1999, GDRX. Jorge, you need to chill, dude. Okay, support 610. Look, they beat. GDRX beat on revenue and EPS. We are in Black Dirt Breakdown. This name has no support below, 0. We're down 31%. Wow. Getting a nice bounce. Again, this is a ninja only name. This makes my stomach kind of hurt looking at it. So this is not the type of name I like to trade. Lord, look at UPST. We're in Black Dirt Breakdown on UPST as well, meaning there's no support down here. 0, no support. And once you get back up into the range above $36, you're going to have all these bag holders overhead. Lord, I want this. This looks like the Luna chart did last night. It is my opinion, not projection, opinion. This could get a really good bounce today, but it could hurt you in the interim while you're trying to position yourself for it. I'm probably going to change one of these names to UPST. This is just so extreme. I'm interested. Okay. Okay, DLTR. Daily inside bar and 4-hour EQ. Bulls scouting 4-hour high or low within the EQ. the DLTR. So I ran a scan on daily inside bars, meaning we had so much red yesterday. So if you were a name that was able to achieve an inside bar, you're a relative outperformer to the market. Oh man, it's already taken off. So this one had a nice 4-hour EQ on this daily inside bar, and I was looking for a potential higher low compared to 161.29. So a bottom fish of 161.29, and this is still a viable trade setup. I just don't want it up 2% in pre-market. I want it to pull back a little bit for me. Facebook, bulls scouting a daily higher low. Aggressive bulls could look to bottom fish yesterday's low. So I'm pulling up names with relative strength like DLTR, JPM. I forgot it. So Facebook is looking for a daily higher low compared to 169. 4 hours not oversold. Hourly got oversold yesterday, but I like a bottom fish of 195.58, trying to nail that hourly higher low, trying to nail that daily higher low on Facebook. Same concept with JPM. JPM has enough room for a daily higher low compared to 118.22. It doesn't have enough clearance like Facebook, but it does have enough room. Y'all know I normally pick on JPM to the downside, but I do like a higher low bottom fish against 124.24. MARA, dangerous. This is one of the more, well, UPST is the most dangerous name I've shown you today, and then GDRX, then Peloton, and then this name. So bottom fish at $12 or $11.77 makes sense as Bitcoin got its bounce on overnight. Just trying to get a piece of that. It's already up 4.5% this morning, so caution on this one, but it is in a situation looking for an oversold bounce. Daily RSI is oversold, weekly RSI is not. XBI. It's funny, Randall, you say that. Theta is Godzilla. I heard someone say that theta is like cholesterol. It's killing you from the inside, but you can't see it. So if you have high cholesterol, you don't know that it's hurting you until you look at it on the labs. You're like, oh my God. And that's what theta is. Theta is the theta monster, and it's constantly eating away at your option premium, and it's doing it, and you don't even know how bad it's hurting you till you're getting closer to options expiration. But thought that was a cool explanation. Okay, XBI. This name is beat up. We finally got the monthly oversold yesterday, and I have a small LABU position, and I'm looking to add against 64.06, yesterday's low. Your next supports are 62.94 below that. So I like XBI bottom fish. XOM. Yep, thank you, MG, for that reminder. I think I said it earlier, but I always remind us. Okay, this is going to be a weird one. Come on. I tell y'all all the time back burner trade setups. So I'm gonna call this a reverse back burner. So let's look at Exxon daily. So Exxon had a huge move to the downside. When does it have a dividend? Oh, that could mess stuff up. Thursday. No, I think it's still good to trade setup. So now on a bounce, we're looking for a daily low or high. How do you position yourself? So if we look at the 15-minute RSI gets overbought around 86.63. So we have resistance at 87.20, and then if you look right here, 86.63 is where RSI of 70, where we get overbought, is around 86.63. I like a top fish of 86, well now it's 86.71. So what I'm doing is I'm top fishing an overbought name looking for a daily low or high. So I hope this makes sense. We do the reverse all the time, where we're looking for daily we have a name that had a daily huge run, and we're looking for that first 5 or 15-minute oversold for a back burner. Now we're doing the opposite. This name had a big pullback. So on a bounce, I want to be looking for 15-minute overbought conditions to possibly short and top fish. So I really like XOM short against 86.71 or 87.20. Okay. Got some opinions out there today. Support on XOM 84.67, 84.62, and 84.06. All right. Now I'm going to go over a few requests. Yes, I like XBI Night Truck. I really do. TLT. US 10-year has been super strong, so that's been, again, TLT has been suffering because of it, but it looks like it's getting a good bounce going. Now we need trend changes on the 4-hour. So 4-hour higher low bottom fish makes sense. Trying to nail that 4-hour higher low. So possibly bottom fishing 114.68 or 114.59. Let's look at Oxy. Oxy's probably the same, Larry, as Exxon. It pulled back big yesterday on oil weakness. Had earnings too. So now we wait and look for a 15-minute top fish of overbought against 60.72, looking at top fish Oxy 672, looking for that first 15-minute overbought reverse back burner, looking to nail the daily lower high. Yeah, if y'all could hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to go jump over and listen to Charting Man Dan, who starts live in 8 minutes. I'm going to copy all these notes over for you TCG members and put them in the room. And you can follow me on Chark Lori if you're into that Twitter thing. Use stop losses.